It's Ekayani, yours truly, and welcome to the first Mantra Monday of 2020. It's January 7th. For those of you who are new here and don't know me, I'm a songwriter, I'm a performer, I'm a writer, and I have a bent towards mantra. And if you appreciate what I'm going to be sharing and passing on here, because really I'm just a messenger, please just give this video a thumbs up, make a comment, share it with someone who you think might benefit from this. The purpose of Mantra Mondays is to uplift you and offer solutions, to offer wisdom solutions, ancient solutions to modern problems. And our problems are pretty much always the same, aren't they? So each week I'll be sharing a mind-freeing shloka or verse, usually in Sanskrit. I'll offer a translation, a word-for-word translation, and then I will offer the siddhanta, the meaning, in other words, we'll break it down, given by my predecessors. So I want to make it clear that I'm not making anything up. I'm not doing this in a vacuum. However, every one of us has, we're alive and we have realizations as we go through life and as we experience things. And when we're talking about yoga, that is definitely the case, because the whole purpose of yoga is to awaken our perceptions of ourself and our perceptions of the cosmos and the world around us and the other people and the other living creatures that we share this planet with. In fact, all the universe is with. So why am I sharing this mantra, and why now? The answer is in part due to a lila, due to an activity, due to a transcendental pastime involving 4 key personalities. So these personalities are 2 sets of brothers. Chaitanya, Nitai, those were 2 brothers, and Jagai and Madai, also brothers. Jagai and Madai, you could say, are also archetypes. They're archetypes for the times that we're living in now, the age that we're living in now. So what's in a name? First, I want to break down the names that I have just announced for you, because they are significant. Names are significant. So, A, Chaitanya, that means living force. And Nityananda, that means eternally blissful. So if you're in the yoga bag, if you're in this, there's probably some sounds that are familiar to you, like Ananda, that's eternally blissful. Nitya actually means liberated, eternally liberated. Someone who has never been covered over by the material energy. So the meaning of the names of these 2 brothers, or these 2 saintly persons, because they were working in Bengal of about 500 years ago, Chaitanya, Nitai, their names actually give you the keys and the clues as to what is being offered to us, because we're being offered tools here, and the caliber of the offering, the quality of the offering. So the quality of the offering is transcendental. It's therefore transformative. It is therefore joyful, and it is never ending. It is, in fact, a distribution of something called Krishna Prema. So I want to get now to the meanings of the names of the other brothers, Jagai and Madai. So the meanings of their names are illicit sex, meat eating, or animal slaughter, if you prefer, the opposite of veganism, intoxication, and gambling. And these two brothers are archetypes for the age that we're living in now, which is called Kali Yuga. So I'm not talking about Mother Durga, I'm not talking about Kali Devi per se, I'm talking about hypocrisy and quarrel. So these are four activities or preoccupations. These were big preoccupations of Jagai and Madai. They were going concerns for them. And in today's world, it seems that our leaders are also mostly concerned with world rings of pedophilia, abusing women, abusing things children. Could fall into the category of illicit sex. There's nothing wrong with sex, but when you're using sex obviously to exploit, manipulate, and hurt others, there is something very, very wrong. Krishna actually says, I am that sex life, according to religious principles or according to Dharma. So sex, if done in the right way, is a wonderful thing. Today's world leaders are archetypes of this, but we probably have friends or people that are involved in getting hammered, getting drunk, trying to become forgetful, right? They're unhappy on a weekly basis. I know that here where I live, if you're not getting drunk once a week, you don't have a social life pretty much. How is it possible to care about the protection of people under your charge? How is it possible to care about women, children? How is it possible to care about animals? How is it possible to care about extinction when you are involved in these activities on a grand scale? How to end widespread profiteering off of addictions while raking in billions of dollars? How do you mitigate gambling away people's savings in risky speculative ventures and investments that line your pockets while devastating communities, while devastating the environment? You can't. You cannot. Because you're drunk. You're drunk with power, and you are yourself an addict. So this is Maya, this whole engagement of drowning the senses in these different ways, or trying to satisfy the senses in these different ways, is an impossible task. You're never going to be filled up, ever. So, we look to our world leaders and we wish that they would set a better example, for those of us who are trying to lead better lives, and we're disappointed again and again. The solution really is grassroots, and that is why we have been given this medicine. We have been given a means to actually defend ourselves. Narottam Das Thakur sings, Jagai Madai, Papi Tapi Jato Chilo, Nahari Nama Udaliro, Tara Shakshi Jagai Madai. Papi, that means sinful. Or sin, that means to be without. That means to be without a connection. That means to be without a connection to the divine. That needs to be disconnected with yourself. And tapi, that means suffering, right? Papi tapi jata chilo, hari nama udarilo, tara shakshi jagai madai. So, hari nama udarilo, by chanting Hare Krishna, by chanting the holy name, these two personalities were delivered, right? They were actually went through a process of transformation. So, Chaitanya Nitai, they are proposing that we, as a people, engage in chanting very loudly together out on the street, in public places. We can do this in our homes, of course, and we can do this for ourselves, but we can also do this outside, because this sound vibration is very, very powerful. It is very, very purifying, because it is non-different from the divine. It is non-different from that. And it is the weapon, as it were, for this age. The merciful solution is to actually introduce a means of transformation from the inside out. From the heart, that's where everything sits. That is where jealousy, envy, greed, lust, anger, you name it, that's where it sits. Now that I have set up this context, now I want to get to the story. Nityananda was out, and he was in the bad part of town, because that's where Jagai and Madai hang out. They were the leaders of the gang. They were thieving, they were raping, they were stealing, they were terrifying people. That's what they did. And if you came to their hood, and if you came to their block, you were basically asking for trouble. So Nityananda, of course, being eternally blissful and fearless, went right over there, because he saw them and he said, wow, these two are in a really bad shape and conditioning. I'm going to go and speak to them, and I'm going to ask them humbly, with a straw between my teeth, if they would please take up this chanting. So the reception that he got was not a warm one. People that are deep in addiction cannot appreciate kindness. So Jagai picked up an earthen pot, and he hurled it with all his might, bing, and it cut Nityananda Prabhu's head, and he started to bleed. Still, Nityananda Prabhu wasn't disturbed by that, because he was equipoised, he was steady. However, Chaitanya Mahaprabhu heard, the news spread like wildfire. When you're in a small town, news travels fast. It spread all the way to Chaitanya, came rushing over. Now, this is a very instructive pastime on many levels. He came rushing over, and he immediately he manifested something that is called a Sudarshan chakra. A Sudarshan chakra is a divine, transcendental weapon. It is part of Vishnu's paraphernalia. Paritanaya daduskritam, right? To protect the devotees, to protect the pious, and to chastise the miscreants, right? To chastise the asuras. These weapons are in play. So now Jagai and Madai are going, holy tomatoes, we mess with the wrong people here. These people are not ordinary. And so, in great fear, they were trembling and just trying to take this all in. Now, Nityananda Prabhu, who has been knocked to the ground, who's now on the ground, he, lifts his arm to catch the Lord's arm, Chaitanya's arm and says, no, 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 my lord, no. Please do not use your Sudarshan chakra on these two. Do not kill them. Because if you do so, the entire reason for us coming here, for you coming here to transform people is lost. Why? Because these two characters right here, they're the average Joe. They are the average personality in Kali Yuga. Everyone is so miserable that everyone is simply trying to forget the circumstances that they are living in, right? It's polluted. It's hard to make a living. There's violence everywhere, right? So even though it's not the best thing, this is what people are taking shelter of. Now, this is a beautiful, beautiful pastime because Nityananda is displaying humility. He is displaying that quality, that fearlessness that comes with doing this type of work, right? He's not concerned about himself. He's not concerned about his body, right? He's detached from his body. He knows that he is eternal. He is willing to go out and encounter these types of personalities in a great lack of appreciation because he knows what he has to offer is purifying. He knows that what he has to offer is the highest good. You know, regardless of whatever little niche that people are in, it doesn't mean that people can't practice what they're already practicing, but by adding this mantra, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, they are going to get that, you know, triple, quadruple espresso shot on their path to self-realization and awakening. Chaitanya's behavior is also very instructive. So he is coming to protect his devotee. He is coming to protect. He doesn't care for himself, right? Doesn't care for himself. The devotee doesn't care for himself. However, a devotee cannot tolerate an injustice being done to someone else. A devotee will actually step in and step in front and take that bullet or take that, action themselves to protect the weaker one. This is amazing. And we all need to become like this. Not concerned for ourselves, but concerned for the other. I want to encourage us here, as a group, to participate in chanting outside. Chanting at home and chanting outside. If you're walking by Union Square, for example, Regine, you may notice that there is a kirtan party that meets outside, when the weather is tolerable, and people just stop and listen to the chanting, or sometimes people come in and they sit down and they chant along. This changes the vibration. We are powerful when we participate as a group together. This is called SANKIRTAN. SANKIRTAN. San, together. Kirtan, singing together. You might see people doing a similar thing in your town. You can join that and you will feel very blissful and very happy. Sure, you're going to feel a little socially awkward in the beginning. You're going to feel like, oh my God, what if somebody sees me? This is embarrassing. What am I doing out here with these people who are dressed in sheets and robes and shaven heads? But if you just give that a moment, and get into the sound vibration and just try and forget about anything external, you will feel a happiness and a bliss that even a drop of it you'll feel more happiness in your heart than you've ever felt doing anything, because there's absolutely no material conditions attached to it whatsoever. It doesn't matter what you look like. It doesn't matter your age. It doesn't matter where you come from. It doesn't matter what kind of job you have. It doesn't matter what kind of clothes you're wearing. That is absolutely all immaterial. So my desire is to start or fan a fire, a good fire, not like the fires that we're having in Australia right now, a good fire to change the atmosphere on this planet. Whenever people get together and they do intentional meditations, it changes things. It does. However, those are silent. When you chant the Hare Krishna mantra out loud, not only do you benefit and the people around you benefit, the sentient beings like the trees, the birds, the insects, the fish, everything, the deer, the kangaroos, everything also benefits from that. And that's what we're interested in. We're not just interested in ourselves. We're not just interested in the human beings. We are interested in the entire planet. We are interested in drowning this entire planet with Krishna Prema. I'm going to say another little story. There was a person whose name was Larry. And when he used to see the SANKIRTAN party going down on South Street in Philadelphia, he used to throw things, and he used to sometimes come and try and attack the devotees doing that chanting. It would be a big long party. Now, the right way to do a Sankirtan party is that you have drummers in the front, you have drummers in the back, you have drummers in the middle, you have the kartal players, but you also have people that are just appointed there to look out, to be kind of like bodyguards, to be like kshatriyas, just in case anyone decides that they want to create a disturbance. This is the right way to do it. And also to have flags, nice flags on a pole with a sign of Omkara, and everyone dressed very nicely, right? The devotee should be dressed nicely, because we are trying to establish Sudasattva. There is goodness, but then there is a transcendental mode of goodness. So Larry, every time he used to see the devotees, he used to throw something, curse at them, try and attack them. And this went on for a really long time. And then one day, he decided to follow the devotees and start chanting with them. He underwent this transformation. Now, you say to yourself, how could someone so obnoxious, so aggressive, so inimical, suddenly, one day out of the blue, just drop everything and start to follow the devotees like the devotees are the Pied Piper and begin chanting? Not only did Larry begin chanting, he eventually became the cook. He became completely vegetarian. He became a Krishnatarian, and he began cooking and making these wonderful, wonderful offerings. This is amazing. And I visited his kitchen, and let me tell you, that kitchen was spotless. The kitchen's so clean. The walls were shining and immaculate, right? Because this was the state of his heart, or his heart was coming to this level, that all those dirty things, that were driving him to act in that way before, right? A need for connection, ultimately. All that acting out, just by hearing the sound vibration, changed him. So in the same way, so many things could be changed overnight. Seriously, they could be. And our frustration as a people is always coming up against this obstacle, right? Every time someone comes in office, they promise that they're going to do this and that, and then they don't do it because they're not capable of doing it. They're not capable of doing it because their hearts are dirty, and the people that are surrounding them are just as bad or maybe even worse than they are. They are so tightly hanging on to a false paradigm of this belief that there isn't enough. But the earth is abundant. She's been here for billions of years. She's been here for a really long time and is capable of feeding everyone and everything because she is in direct connection with the divine and with the creator. So that's my proposal to you this Mantra Monday, January 7th. I wanted to give you some food for thought. Shloka by Narottam Das Thakur, who sings Jagai Madai Papi Tapi Jaita Chilo Hari Nama Udarilo Tara Shakshi Jagai Madai. You know, I am being bold in delivering this message because I am so tired and so sad at seeing the state of the world. And speaking of tools, this is another tool. These are JAPA beads. JAPA beads have 108 beads on them, and this is a great meditation aid. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. And then you go to the next bead. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. This gives you a sensual touch, tactile touch, so you can, sort of stay awake, right, and stay connected with what you're doing. It helps you keep count of how many mantras that you are chanting, right? And you can take it anywhere. It's portable. You can put it in your pocket. You can put it around your neck. You can put it in a bead bag. So this is another way. So I thank you very, very much for being here with me today. You have a wonderful week. I hope this has given you strength and inspiration. And I will see you very soon. Namaste. I'm Ekayani Music.